Hello everybody, it's Curtis with TeamHero. This is just going to be a generic Lightsworn build. I love JD, so it's going to be a JD based build. I'm going to be playing zombies with this as well. We'll see in here why. I really like the synchro orientation. I just like having extra options, and the zombie build I just feel like this gives it a lot more consistency. Also, I'm not playing grass. I really don't like it being one of. I also don't like playing left arms just for one of. To banish entire hand, it's not really worth it to me.
Ash is a thing too.
Yeah, and Ash is a thing. Like, there's not really a point to. You're gonna get fucked by Ash anyways. But excuse my language, sorry. And also, I'm playing 53 cards still, just because Lightsworn there's so many different options. Like, there's so many cards that are, like, don't hurt you by being milled, and there's so many cards that I feel you need. But let's get started. Of course, I'm playing 3 JD. I still love this card. As long as it's not clogging you constantly, I don't see a problem with it. I really love pumping this out and wiping a board, because worst comes to worst, you pump out the JD, you force them to stop the JD before you're going off in other plays. Or, because if they have to deal with JD first, they're going to stop this. Like, they're not going to, like, oh, look, this guy could keep paying 1,000 over and over again to wipe my board, and he's a 3K monster. No, they're going to answer the JD. They're not going to waste their time with anything else. So, and with a deck of as much grave manipulation as Lightsworn as Zombie Engine has, I really like having the extra option to force through things such as back row, especially if you're playing this like locals, because it's not like, I don't know, until Lightsworn gets the rest of the support, or unless you have Minervas, I would say this deck's more of a casual thing without Minervas. Now, don't get me wrong, this deck can do phenomenal things, but like I said, it's more like a luck-based deck without Minerva. 3 Raiden. Raiden's probably your best normal summon in the deck, Lightsworn-wise, in my opinion. Except for Illumina, actually. That's a second. Sorry. The card you never want to see, but you have to play 3 of. Wolf sucks, honestly. He's only good when you mill him, and you have to play 3 because you need to mill him. So it's a kind of like a lose-lose situation, but you have to play him because when you do see him in the grave, he's amazing. I would say one of the best combo initiators in the deck. This card can get you really, really, really far. Lumina is insane. Like, there's so many things you can do. You need Lumina, and then like Raiden, and then mill tool with the Raiden, make Dante, and then make Michael afterwards or whatever else you need. There's just so many things you can do with this. So you can also, with the small Minerva, you can do like Lumina, small Minerva, and then make Trish off that as well, or another Dante, or there's just so many different things you can do, or Levier, whatever you need.
Also opens up zoo plays if you want to add if you want to add zoo.
Yeah, if you feel like you want to play zoo variant, you can just throw the rapiers in here and just play zoo. And also there's another card, what's his name? I can't remember his name. He's a level 3 beast warrior. He's searchable. It's really nice to have an extra.
Arcus.
Is it? Yeah, that's right. That's what it is.
He makes it so where you can't target any Lightsworns no matter where they're at. With card effects, so he's decent.
It's nice to be able to search Lightsworn names for free. But I play 2 Lila. Like I said, if you're playing this casually, there's probably like when you go to a locals, there's probably people playing a lot of back row or cards that require specific things to be on board for the setup. Lila is also a good out to any like huge floodgate you can't answer because it's this normal pop floodgate, call it a day. I don't think I would never play Lightsworn without at least one. One Jane, just another name. I really don't personally like Jane. I think the card's awful, but I still play it. Another name. And she has her uses, I guess. Not as much now as she used to, but she's still good. 1800 light. This card actually comes up a lot. Sometimes she'll be in my hand and I'll just discard her, get her to grave, or I'll need her. Sometimes I'll even actually search her just to get her effect to get an additional card in the grave, because there's so many cards in this deck that you need in grave. And there's sometimes, since you're the deck's more or less a luck factor to begin with, so if there's always like that one card, or like a variation of like 4 or 5 cards, and as long as one of them in the grave, you could go an extra mile. So sometimes it's nice just to get an extra card in grave off her. One Aaron doesn't come. This card used to be a lot better. I would say she's still one of the better Lightsworn monsters, but you never play her more than one because there's not really any decks that's really going to threaten you off her effect. But if it comes up with this monster you can't answer, then she's your go-to.
Helps with like random Yang Zings.
Yeah, if you're kind of like Yang Zing or any monster that or any deck that creates monsters like can be destroyed battle or anything that really
Some
annoying.
terrors, Yang Zings.
Yeah. Any rogue-like deck, I would say.
Subterra is a little harder to do though.
Yeah, Subterra will keep. They have a lot of resources to keep their monsters protected. I only play one Felis. Honestly, she's really good, but since I'm not playing grass, I don't want to overwhelm myself with too many cards that are dead. If I was playing grass or whenever it was at 3 before Ash, I'd definitely play 2 of this with the 3 wolf because you just need more luck factor. But I really only like her 2, honestly. I mean 1. Sorry, I like her only at 1 because like you're not gonna have. You don't want this in card in hand ever because you'll never actually get any use of it in hand. One Geralt, another name. Now he's good if you can step aboard with him, but in this format, it's not nearly as good as it used to be. Back in the day, Geralt was something to be scared of, but now it's kind of like, sometimes when you draw him, you kind of wish you hadn't, honestly. But he's still really good.
You only ever want to summon him if it's like off of Illumina.
Yeah, like if you have cards to set up with him, he's spectacular because this deck has a hard time keeping resources without Minerva. So like if you can actually set him up with like a Raiden or something else, then it's not bad honestly because it's nice. That's all for the Lightsworn monsters. Now I'll play 3 Snow. This card's actually really dumb.
Best card in the deck.
Yeah, this card is actually insane. There's no reason not to play it. It's kind of ridiculous. You can just summon it for free whenever you want. It's fun. It also answers problems on your opponent's turn, or your turn.
Chains over anything, so if they answer it, you answer it right back.
Yeah. There's 101 reasons why I play this card. Now for the zombie engine, I play 3 unit zombie. Some people only play 2. The problem what I have with that is sometimes if I play it 2, I won't ever see it in a larger deck when I play 53. And I really love this card, especially going first. Like if you're forced to go first, you can set up really good boards with Unizombie. And you really like it, especially like if you're not worried about using your battle phase. This card is so good. You can set up so much with just this one card. I play 3 Mizuki. He's kind of the heart and soul of any zombie engine. This card just gives you free resources out of nowhere, and especially with a deck that has access to Leviair, it's really nutty. Because you just keep adding it back, especially with Omega. Omega is another insane card with zombies, which by now we all know. The thing with Omega though, that's really cool with this, you have huge amount of synergy in this deck because with the zombie engine, it's only 9 cards, but you get so much value of just those 9 cards. Being able to constantly have like one thing Lightsworn lacks is recyclability. And this card, and like the zombie engine, I love it so much because like it gives you that little slight grind that the deck may need to finish off somebody. And then I play Zombies Lone Fire Blossom. This card's dumb. This card literally just turns into a 1-card Omega. Honestly, I would say something else, but normally it's Summoning Omega. It's really good. The fact that they created that card, like I don't care about anything else. Like I like Sharon Enemy, but this is the only card that matters from that entire archetype.
Spirit Master is good, a good combo with him if you play it, but it can be really dead.
That's a good option. Like you could side that evenly. That sounds stupid to side an engine, like a card could be used in the engine. But like if you're having a problematic with like getting rid of one-elves, this card's really good because you essentially also the searchable pop 1 if you wanted to. But I don't play Spirit Master in the main. I play 2 Trick Clowns. I'm also playing a Brilliant Engine, so it's really nice to be able to send this or accidentally mill it and start making rank 4s along with the synchro plays. Or help with synchro plays, obviously. I only play 1. I'm playing 53 cards. If I see that in a 53 card deck, it's really unlucky, but I don't ever want to open 2. I'm very pro 1-of for this, because if you play 2, you still have a chance of opening both. Like, just because you're playing 2 doesn't mean you won't ever have a dead Brilliant Fusion. Having a dead Brilliant Fusion that's just part of that's just part of the engine. It's gonna happen. It's really unlucky. This deck's based with Lightsworn, you're gonna either win or lose, and there's not a huge grind with Lightsworn. Like, so if you're gonna sack somebody, you're gonna destroy them, especially with Brilliant Fusion. So like, there's no point of worrying about having 2 of this. Like, oh, I don't want to break Brilliant Fusion. Well, you're playing Lightsworn. It's hit or miss regardless. I'm playing 1 BLS. This card, most people don't play anymore, but I'm playing the Zombie Engine, and it's so easy to get a Dark Engrave. And it's another reason, it's the same reason I like JD. You just pop it out, they're like, oh crap, I have to deal with this. So they get rid of this and you continue your normal plays. Like, or you just win the game outright, or vice versa, where you use other monster resources and you just drop DLS to finish the game out. This card's spectacular. It'll never be bad, in my opinion. And I want the OCGs list where they have multiple. I play one Gold Bulb still. That one extra mil is really nice. I really enjoy it. It helps make Trish plays easier. It helps make it lets me it helps me manipulate levels better, and it just gives me access to more stuff. It's really nice to have. That's it for the monsters. I play 3 Brilliant Fusion. Like I said earlier, edit cards are dumb. It gives you so much advantage out of nowhere. Not much else needs to be said about it. It's been here for a while.
If you get weird hands, you can also make the Omega out of the Seraph Knight and like a baby Minerva. It doesn't come up often, but it's really, really clutch when it is.
I actually love the zombie engine now, especially the unit zombies. That actually comes up a lot. Sometimes if I have like leftovers, I'll just bazooki back the unit zombie and just make it like another rank 8 or an Omega off of that, just for sake of getting the zero off the board. Because you don't need it once you use it the first time. I play 3 Solar Recharge. This is really, really good. It gets you your grave loaded. Like, if you open this in, like, I would say, like, the level 3 Minerva, you can get so much advantage. It essentially turns into a draw 2 mill 3, which is spectacular in this deck. And you don't really want this one Minerva in hand anyways. It also goes really good if, like, for say you have Lumina, and you're able to draw this one Minerva in grave, because then you can drop, like, Lumina for Lumina, and then Lumina, discard a Minerva, and summon Minerva. And then Synchro with the 9, because I do that a lot as well for the Trish if I needed it. But that's just a small little gimmick. But that card's phenomenal. One of the few ways Lightsworn really has of getting like free resources without milling.
Please come back to 3.
Yeah, this card's insane. If it comes back to 3, especially with the Lightsworn coming out, I could see issues since we're getting Minerva in the same set. But so I don't see it coming to 3. I wish it would. But
we do only really have like a couple weeks between it though, so between it and Links. And while it's a Saki deck, I doubt that it'll have any actual relevance once we get all our Link monsters.
I wouldn't necessarily say that in my opinion. I think with like once we get a Link monster, it's not that big of a deal because you like instead of making XYZ spam, you'll just make like Link Summon spam, and then I would say it's more JD oriented because you have Twilight Dragon and you also have JD, so you could easily, if you wanted to, spam out like monsters, like it's no problem instead of the rank 4s, and you probably get away with like making like a flame wall dragon and a JD or something to back it up, or a Twilight. But that's for then. As of now, this is at 2. We're stuck with it at 2. It's good. We should be grateful it's at 2 and not 1. So
it's even kind of busted at 2, just for the deck itself. Anything that runs that Lightsworn engines. It needs them mills. It's just so good.
Mill 3, add 1, which essentially mills you more. So it's really good. I still play 2 in Fusion without Norden. The access to the extra level 4 is just good. Like, Rare Fish is awful, but rank like if you really, really, really need that rank 4, like a Tornado Dragon or Abyss Dweller, whatever rank 4 you're playing, it's there. It's another deck, that option. You can also have the single players. So like, let's say you have like. You need either a 5 or a 4. You can just either spit out the Brilliant, the Sardonyx with this, or you can send out the Rare Fish and get the remaining levels you need. I play 2 Monster Reincarnations since I am playing the JD build, or I'm playing a build of JD, I should say. Monster Reincarnations is really good. You can recycle your hand out for the cards you don't need to add more Lightsworn Engrave, and then add back the JD to hand, and just recycle your names. Or just pitch cards like the Zombie or Engine and stuff you don't need. Or just recycle. There's any card you in general, any monster that you need in your hand, you can just add it back, including BLS, which is kind of funny. But I only play 2 of it as a reason. Now there's only a lot of cool cards left, and these are all just one-ofs. They're kind of like they're almost every deck that plays like a heavy spell. So I'll probably play something close to this. Maybe not this, but everything else is pretty generic. Road is obviously good. Half the deck's Warriors. Regeki, just because it's Regeki. Soul Charge for those turn 1 plays, because sometimes it's better to go turn 1, especially when you can make Omega and back it up with some other cards. with the zombie engine. It's really easy to do so. And I just ripped the sleeve. Whoops. And also Foolish, because Foolish is really good at mill decks. And then for the extra deck, 1 Trish, 1 Scarlet, 1 Omega. I play this because 1, I don't have a Clear Wing, I'm not gonna lie, and 2, there's not very good 7 options you have really, and sometimes it's really nice. Like it's even though the card's not that bad of an ordeal, we're going back into a format where targeting is starting to become more of a thing again, especially with other cards. The whole non-targeting nonsense is slowly falling back out, I feel. So this card's not that bad, honestly, especially when most of your cards are either really big and are higher level, or just you don't really care about, and this just protects it. It makes it a little bit harder.
With the rate of big first turns, would you consider swapping that out for like a Black Rose?
Certainly.
Just because a lot of decks they can't handle the board wipe.
Yeah, certainly. A lot like if you're having a hard time, I would either side Black Rose or side Double Dark Hole, because you're already playing JD and you're playing Raigeki, so you don't want to open like Double Dark Hole and like a JD or something. But definitely siding, or even Kaiju's, honestly. I would side Kaiju's over it. I don't know. Black Rose is really good, so you can do that too, but if you don't have access to the Kaiju engine for a side deck, I would definitely go with Black Rose. Or you swap it out, either one, whatever you're more comfortable with. 1 Michael. Michael's just good. Recycles life points if you really need it. It comes up every once in a while. Banish free stuff, mill stuff, good card.
I love that card so much because you can basically just reset your deck once you get to a certain point. And you, I did it one time in a regionals. It was a long time ago, back before anybody was really doing the whole 60 card Lightsworn thing. And my opponent's jaw just dropped. I gained back like basically more than half of my life points, and I was good.
Yeah, it's funny. It happens it happens every occasionally for me as well, especially since I'm playing I won't say slower, it's just as fast, but like with the zombie engine you have a slightly longer grind game, so it's really nice to recycle your cards back to try to keep in the game. And also since I'm playing this in smaller areas more often than not recently, I've been playing this in the main. You can also side this out for like the Black Rose or another card. I just like this because in my experience, people around here play really back heavy, like huge like back row heavy decks. So it's really nice to plop this down and just push through so you don't lose to Quaking, because Quaking sucks.
It could also be another Omega if you have multiple Omegas.
Yeah, that too.
That's always good because you can double, even triple Omega a lot with this deck.
Very easily. I would, if I had a second Omega, I'd definitely play it. And that's all for Synchros. Then I play a small little Topi package for now. This may change when links come out. This card I think I'll still play. It's like I'll at least have it as an option. It's not going to come up as often, but like if you're down and out, this will really help. Or if you usually need to clear if your deck doesn't require extra deck space, it'll just be nice to clear out stuff still. But for now, I'll play the Tibia package. I love this card, especially in a format where especially in this format where we're at now, where continuous spells and field spells are starting to become more relevant. This card's phenomenal, especially going first. So you could do you could drop this in a Mega turn 1, and it becomes a huge problem because they can't search off their field spell or continuous spell, and then also they will not be able to. You also rip a card out of their hand off Mega, so it's really nice in combination with that. 1 Castel. I would never play 101 over Castel ever, and Castel is just good generic removal. Now I don't have a Minerva, so I play this instead. It doesn't come up as often, and it's not as good as Minerva, but I mean, it's a mill 5, and it's not really easy to do, but it happens a lot. A lot of times you'll have access, especially with Brilliant Fusion. So if let's say you mill 1 wolf, and you're like, wow, I really want to make a Kagasuchi, you could just Brilliant Fusion out the other wolf. It's really not that bad. Or since you're playing 4 Beast Warriors, it comes up more often than not, especially since, like I said, you can literally dump one. You have 4 ways of dumping one on purpose. So it's a nice little cheap alternative until we get the Minerva reprint. But as soon as we get like the Lightsworn stuff, this is gone. But for now, it's not that bad. I like it a lot. It helps a lot.
You can still even run it during the Minerva reprint. I know. Testing it, I really like it along with Minerva with the Bujin engine with the Hirokos.
That's really good too.
A lot of people have been switching to that, and I think it's really, really good because it can do busted hands. You can get really good hands.
It also helps you get farther into the deck.
It makes your snows a lot better because you can just recycle your hand traps.
That too. And then I play one Dante. You have a lot of 3s in the deck, honestly, that are well, it's not that you have a lot of them. They're just all accessible really easily. So especially in a deck that requires milling, Dante is really good. One Levier. You don't really you don't get stuff banished that often, but in the case that it does happen, it's here. Sometimes it's really funny when they banish stuff off you because you get actually like off Lumina, you can get a lot of advantage off of it. It doesn't happen as often, like I said, but when it does come up, it's pretty funny to be able to get your stuff back as if nothing happened.
Them Jinx snow plays too. If you're out of resources, you can just bring something back for free, basically.
Or if you need it on purpose, like let's say you make the Levier and like you have a Raiden banish, you want to banish the Raiden and summon it back for like a synchro play. It's so easy to do, especially with the snow, because you can set up what you want to banish and then detach and then summon back to Raiden and then like banish Mizuki for the other 4 and then just synchro from there. Or XYZ. 1 Rare Fish and 1 Seraph Knight, and that's about it, honestly. There's not much to say about them other than you play the cards to make them. And you can infuse both of them out, like I said earlier. Let's say you only have a 3 and a 5, and there's no way to make that 3 or 4. You just infusion out the Seraph Knight, make it 8 still. But other than that, not really much else to the deck profile. And thank you everybody for watching.